My name is Gina Garcia. My story, I guess, came to be after years of not understanding why I wasn't being successful in my business and my relationships, with my family dynamics. I dove into therapy, and it was because of a hate crime. I was actually a victim of a hate crime, and started having flashbacks, and I couldn't understand what they were. And what we came to as a conclusion, is I was actually abducted when I was a child from the Fashion Square Mall, which is right down the street. And I couldn't get the person that took me 25, now 35 years ago, out of my head. The person that assaulted me as a child, I was 8, was still dictating my entire life. And I was tired of it, to be honest with you. What got me to the point of making a movie and going through that journey is something that happened to me as an 8-year-old affected my entire adult life. And I'm better than that. And so for me, I just decided one day that enough's enough, and I dove into therapy at the VA, Orlando VA, and met a great group of women that were also dealing with the challenges of PTSD, and said enough's enough. And at the end of that journey, I said, I'm going to tell my story, because the story that I had, I always knew something wasn't quite right, or something happened, but I wasn't quite sure as to the extent of what happened as far as the assault. And I just said, if I could get through this, and I didn't know there were services or things that I could actually come to terms with as far as with people, that there has to be other people that are going through a similar journey. Not everybody's abducted by a stranger, but there are so many survivors of childhood sexual abuse. There's 1 billion people that have survived childhood sexual abuse that are on this planet. It's 1/6 of our planet. And we named it the film Untold is because that's the untold story, is the damages that are caused that later in life that sticks with you, and it's painful, and it sucks. It sucks because it winds up tearing apart your relationships. And we need relationships. We're not on this planet alone. It's great to be able to have a partner and be able to have a conversation with them and not thinking that you're the dirty person. So Untold wasn't about me telling my story. The goal was to tell a universal story that many people could relate to. I don't know if it was necessarily suppressing it. I was disassociating. So it was the not being present, but it wasn't knowing that it wasn't like an intentional thing where I was like trying not to be present or push it away or things like that. I didn't know it was an issue. It's kind of like you wake up one day and go, something's not right. And I didn't know really what it was until I started, digging deeper into finding out what my reality was. I always knew somebody had abducted me as a child. It was the issue of what happened, which I blocked out. Nobody wants to recall and remember the nasty part of what's happened to them as a child or as an adult. Whether it's rape or childhood sexual abuse, it's all dirty and nasty and disgusting, and it's not the people that it happens to, it's the people that are doing it are the dirty, nasty, and the ugly. And the people that's happening to, like myself, I had to realize that I'm a beautiful person and that I'm amazing, and that the person that took me, I don't want to cuss, but is a piece of shit. And that's the reality, is that I was taking who that person was and thinking that was me. And I was looking at myself of, I'm a piece of shit. And I didn't want to be that person because I knew I was a good person. Whatever it is that affects you, that was caused by somebody else, know that it isn't you. That you are beautiful and you are amazing and you will get through this because you are not only a survivor, but you are a thriver. And life matters, and your life matters. And the holiday season is tough, and we want people that are close to us. But there are people that are out there, there are services that are out there, and the only way that you could actually get through this is by talking about it. And don't be ashamed to tell people, because people are more understanding than you think they are. Untold is my story, and the story of so many others.